But Rabbits, you know, they are not that good right now in StarCraft 2, a recent nerf to them. And it looks like Roach is coming down the ramp, getting pounded by these Marauders. And this is the problem with Roach-based play. The Marauder, Marine, Medevac, and tank composition, it's very hard to close with the Roaches. And
there's the
GG.
good game.
Wow. Very impressive play.
He couldn't pull off that impressive Rabbit transition.
You know, Rabbits nowadays not as good as they used to be in Phase 2 of the beta, if you recall. Well, that was actually a pretty awesome game. What do you think about SEN's play there, Day 9?
I mean, he played well. I think the big thing that let me tell you the problem, Artosis.
Okay, thanks.
He transitioned to Hydralisks, which I think ate up a little bit too much money at the wrong time. We were talking a lot about the power of aggression in that game. Loner kept attacking, but if you're against a more passive player, you have the time to get those Hydralisks. You have time to make the drones to help you get the money to build the Hydralisks. And by getting them too early, Loner saw that and just kept attacking and attacking and attacking, and Sen just basically ran out of stuff.
He definitely did. I agree. That wasn't the greatest unit composition we've ever seen from Sen. I think he needs to maybe switch it up a little bit, maybe go for Mutalisks. I think that's going to be much better against Loner's more aggressive style. He can have a little bit more map control there. But Loner played amazingly there.
Yeah, that's really impressive because, I mean, a lot of players have been transitioning away from a lot of bio play, favoring mech, Hellions, Thors, tanks, because the Baneling is so difficult to deal with. But a lot of even better Terrans are just relying more on their micromanagement, spreading out Marines and Marauders, and it's really what we got the chance to see that game. Loner just never stopped attacking with those Marines and Marauders and those Medevacs as well.
And, you know, the most impressive thing about Loner's play, aside from always microing, making great decisions, and of course, you know, just great attack timings. Basically, when he took that third base, I was like, oh my, Loner is so legit. Because a lot of these Terrans nowadays, they just attack, they get ahead, and this is a problem we've seen so much with StarCraft 2 pros right now, is they're used to the 2-base versus 2-base kind of mentality.
Yes,
they don't take that third, and the third is really what did it. It made Sen try to put pressure down there, had less units to stop the push.
Absolutely.
And it was just great play by Loner.
And, you know, one thing to note that's really impressive about Sen is, in fact, the reason we couldn't invite him to the game is because he was rewatching the replay immediately afterwards. And that's actually a trait of very strong players, both in StarCraft and in Warcraft 3 and in StarCraft 2. They are relentless about rewatching their own games. It's so painful to rewatch a loss that you just had on the main stage with everyone watching, but the disciplined players know that any little edge they can get by rewatching that game will help in the next round.
Okay, we're ready for game number 2. Are you guys ready? Let's get this going. The countdown has begun. Soon the game will be loading. And we're going to see if Sen can make a comeback here against Loner, who played very well in that game.
You know, the fact that Loner got the win on Metalopolis, that cannot sit well with Sen. That's going to be the best map out of this pool for him. But we have Xel'Naga Caverns coming up, and this is actually one of the best maps. We see this played in almost every tournament.
Down here at the bottom left, we have Sen, currently down one game. Does anybody think Sen can come back from this? And up here at the top right, it's a one-on-one map. They know each other's starting locations. Was anybody impressed with Loner's stellar play in that game?
Well, I know I was, Stasis. This guy, he is such a good Terran, and I actually can't wait to see how far he can get in this tournament. And then he's just going to fly back, go to Korea, play more of the GSL. What an amazing player from China.
Oh, by the way, this is a perfect opportunity for me to do shameless plugging. Have you guys seen the GSL? Check out the GSL. It's at gomtv.net. It's a tournament Artosis and I cast. We both live in Seoul. The best Koreans and non-Koreans participating out there. Loner, one of the members of our tournament.
Indeed, you know, I really think that this tournament is going to be a big time for Loner to shine. We said it yesterday, we'll say it again. This is the first time that we've had players from so many different servers able to join together and spar with this many different styles. And we've seen Loner just tear through some of the top players of their respective regions. Sen, honestly, not only is the best player in Taiwan in my eyes, but probably one of the best players, period. And honestly, I think Sen is going to have at least a little bit of comfort going into this match right now, as he is on Xel'Naga Caverns. Big big spread out map, Zergs are very, very happy on Xel'Naga.
You know, and one thing I want to say, and this is actually hard to swallow, but I think SEN might be underrated. He definitely is one of the best Zergs in the world, but living over in Taiwan, we don't get a lot of coverage of events that he plays in, and mostly right now people are watching the events, you know, in Europe, in USA, and in Korea, and SEN is in any of those locations. So really one of the very best Zergs, definitely a player of the caliber of, you know, Fruit Dealer, Hydra, players like that.
Faceless, day 9.
Those guys, they're pretty good. Yeah. Here's a tech lab on the way here for the Terran. He did not opt to make the first Marine. So I think it's quite possible we're going to see a Reaper. Nice. Steals the extractor. So, well, he makes an extractor on the... he stole his gas. So basically, that means the Terran's tech options are now limited. Now, note, this is very important on this map. Notice we have the entrance here, but look at how large this area is that you have to defend around the hatchery. Very big. If the Terran is going for the 2 barracks play and is going to be aggressive with it, he's going to need to have very solid defense on all corners, and he has to make sure he can't run up the ramp and then take out drones over here.
And this is a really interesting play by Loner. In his main, he is making a Reaper out of that barracks, but it looks like he is just going for a second barracks. Very uncommon in this matchup, but that gas steal by SEN, so brilliant. Even yesterday we were talking about how the second gas timing is the biggest signifier of what strategy you're going to be doing, so immediately SEN knows that there's not going to be any huge Banshee plays or huge mech plays, and his Reaper is coming to the expansion to do a little bit of damage and pick off these lanes.
That's right, and another Reaper being made right now, so we're actually going to see some Reaper play out of Loner. A little bit bizarre. Right now you can't get the Reaper speed until you have a factory, and having that gas stolen is not going to be something you can really do right now. So SEN right now chasing off this Reaper with a couple lings, but good micro by Loner, taking out every ling SEN has.
The Reaper's getting pretty low on HP, and we're still waiting to see that second Reaper get down there. I think the Queen's going to have no problem defending from this Reaper. As you can see here, takes it out.
And this is how confused SEN is. He's sending in an Overlord to figure out exactly what's going on. 2 barracks plays like, what, are you going to rush me? No, a command center is being made. Just a kind of interesting, safer expansion being done by Loner.
2 more barracks.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me, 3 more barracks.
5 barracks total. And you know, I actually think this is a very smart play. On this map, the spaces are so wide, so spread out, that you have a lot of room to micro those Marines and Marauders. And as we've seen in every matchup Loner has played, his Marine Marauder micro is phenomenal, and he's going to use these Reapers to deny scouting, pick off lings, pick off drones, and that way SEN is going to be completely in the dark as to what he is up to.
Yeah, that's a great use of those Reapers, and I like the fact that he waited until the Overlord was gone to throw up all 3 racks at once. It's going to be a little bit surprising to SEN how quickly units are actually coming out of there after scouting 2 barracks at that time.
He's going to try to take out some drones here, using the drones actually to block. A lesser Zerg player would have ran, but he actually did a nice block. And I think we're going to see a pretty tough timing attack here from Loner. Remember, this region here, very large. It can be very tough to defend on all corners.
Yeah, I like the upgrades we see going on right now. Loner is getting concussive shells, and mostly Marines being made. Look at this, scouting with that Reaper, but what he's going to do is try to tank all the Roach damage with the Marauders and let the Marines deal damage to the Roaches and try to do a nice little timing push early on.
Oh, Loner has such good micro with that Reaper. He just got to do the entire run-through of the base, and then, does get taken out by the natural, but he saw all that he needed to, and Loner doing some very smart position, brilliant positioning. Notice how these 2 supply depots create a funnel, blocking off all units, and SEN does not want to be aggressive. That's why Loner got the concussive shell first. Any little poke SEN does, he will lose a few units. So smart of him to get that concussive shell first. I actually would have ended up going for the stim first, but now I see why that is a mistake. Can he easily pick off some of those Roaches.
And we see that SEN actually right now, he is getting Zergling speed and a lair. When he sees how many Marines are in there, realistically he should transition into Banelings and get Baneling speed as soon as possible.
He barely managed to keep that Overlord alive on, I guess, the Xel'Naga Cavern, since this is the map called Xel'Naga Caverns. Keeps it alive over there. 2 Roaches come in here. They just want to keep the Terran army back at the Terran's base, not being aggressive.
And that was actually a good harassment job. Killed a few SCVs, stopped mining for a bit, but most importantly, stopped some mule mining. Every time that you make the mules stop mining, they're going to lose at least 30 minerals that they would have gotten from it otherwise.
Terran is now going for the push. I think that harassment from SEN might give him the chance to get enough units up here. Actually, I don't think SEN has enough units to hold this. He needs to produce.
Oh no, he's making drones. He has some Zerg queue, but he is making some drones as well. He's trying to make as many Zerglings as he can. It looks like Stim is almost done. It's getting extremely close. Just now finishes. Does he have combat shield as well? No, he does not. He is researching it though, and it looks like there's the Stim. And oh my goodness, where are all of SEN's units? He's going to have to bring everything. Drones, Zerglings, Queens if he wants to hold this off.
Look at that micro. This is unbelievable. He's going to take out his units. He can go behind the bushes too.
Yeah, this is a very smart attack timing by Loner. Going to take out that Queen. Only a few roaches left, and they are not very good right now against these Marauders. Kiting so beautifully here from Loner, and SEN is in a lot of trouble. We may see him just irreparably damaged from this attack.
Looks like more roaches are popping out right now. Drones trying to hop into the fray, but the problem is Loner's units are low on health. They cannot afford another Stim, but I do not know if it will matter. There's just almost nothing left in SEN's base. He's trying to make roaches and Zerglings as fast as he can. Here's another stream of roaches and units. A few more units Stim from behind. And SEN, is he actually going to defend this? He has a few roaches out. He's lost so many Queens, and SEN with the miracle does manage to stay alive, but the damage seems to have been dealt. And there's a good game.
Though. Unfortunately, SEN lost too many drones there to recover from that attack.
Yeah.
It was cool that he held it off though, but but he was dead. So.
Yeah, when you lose like 20 drones just like that and your Queen, you're just not going to be able to replace them. You're not going to be able to beat a player as good as Loner.
Yeah, and you know, that same sort of timing push that we saw Boxer do against Fruit Dealer, Loner really made use of in this game. Zergs don't have Banelings up early. Zergs are wanting to make a lot of drones at the start of the game, and Loner just made 5 barracks, didn't even take a second pass anytime soon, just wanted to make as many Marines and Marauders as he could and hit at that key point. And honestly, even if SEN was prepared, that would have been the great equalizer for Loner. He would have done the damage by forcing SEN to make so much defense. That's just a very, very crisp push by Loner.
Yeah, you know, Loner right now, he's really proving himself. He's said so many times when I've spoken to him that he is very nervous. He never really feels confident playing on stage, but here he is winning all of his matches.
He keeps winning, so apparently he's good enough. I got to say, you know, Loner, he doesn't always start off strong, but when it gets to the mid game, he's flawless. Yeah. It's a perfect play. So that was a really awesome game. And I got to say, I think Loner might be the favorite for this entire tournament.
I mean, he is in the winner's bracket final. He will be up against the winner of White Raw versus Next Genius. And, yeah, I think we have some more matches coming up soon.
We do, but first let's take a look at the bracket, see what we have going up in a second here.
Well, look at us looking up for the brackets
take a look
we
at
have
the
on the screen. Well, what's interesting is that Demaga in the lower bracket has been tearing it up. He was eliminated from the winner's bracket first round and has won every single match since then. So he's in the top 6. Of course, everyone loves Demaga. He's awesome.
He's lovable, man.
Also in the loser's bracket, Demaga will be playing, I believe, the loser of Next Genius and White Raw. But on the upper side, we have Maka against Huck. Now, Huck, even though he did not play particularly well on stage yesterday, has been feeling a lot more confident in his PVT. So that's going to be a great opportunity for him to continue advancing.
And a little update from the bracket. Next Genius has taken out White Raw. And the next match, stay tuned for it, Next Genius versus Loner. Oh, that's going to be pretty sick.
I cannot wait. So get ready for that, guys. I think we pretty much did it. It was a pleasure casting for you guys. We got many more games coming up here on the stage, so don't go anywhere. I'm Tasteless, Artosis Day 9. This is BlizzCon.